Has social media harmed these teens? That's the video we're going to be reacting to today, a video by Jubilee. And before we get into this video, get y'all some water. I know y'all ain't drink nothing today. Go ahead and pause the video, go downstairs or whatever, get some water, and then come back and watch the video. If you're wondering why I chose these colors for today's video, I try to kind of match the colors with whatever I'm watching. Like my Love, Death, Robot video, it has pink and red for love and death. Jubilee didn't really have a good color palette for this video, so I decided to kind of match my outfit. As you can see, we got the green over there for my pants with the sea green bracelet and emerald green ring. And we got the pink for the shirt. And yes, I did put the glasses on for this outfit. It's because they match too. And so before we get into this video, I just want y'all to know this is a commentary. You're going to see a whole lot more of me than you're going to see the video. If you want to see the video without me in it, link is going to be in the description of the original video. Now, to answer the question, has social media harmed these teens? Before I even watch the video, I'm going to say yes. I personally don't even like social media. I feel like it does a lot more harm than good. But that's just my opinion. Let's see if this video changes my mind, and I will give my thoughts on social media throughout the video.
They told me to kill myself and told me that I was ugly and that I looked like a clown.
Already. First thing, we ain't even 30 seconds in. They're already talking about the negativities of social media. Social media sucks. I really don't have social media except for Instagram. I don't got Snapchat, I don't got Facebook, I don't got Twitter. I only got Instagram just for my business. Creating music, creating YouTube videos, that's all I use Instagram for.
I like to keep connected with my friends, but most importantly, I think it's a useful platform and tool.
I agree and disagree. Is it a useful platform and tool? Yes, it's how I'm trying to get my company out there. It's how I'm trying to get my YouTube channel out there. But for it to be used to communicate to people, you already have apps on your phone right away to do that. You have iMessages, you have FaceTime. Why do you need to download a new app for that?
I kind of just have enough posts that doesn't make me seem like a loser.
How many posts does it make you not seem like a loser? Because if you look at my social media, I only have one post. And if you look at my second account, which that link will be in the description, that's where I post my music, I have a couple, but that's for business, right? How many posts will it take for you to not be a loser? Because I only have one post, but I feel like a loser. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about. Social media just has this way to affect people in a negative way. And we put it all on ourselves. We put it on each other. Social media itself isn't doing it. It's the people on social media that are making us believe that that's what's happening.
I'm anti-social media because of the present algorithms in place. So do you think Instagram is...
Algorithms, yes. I personally have made my main Instagram account affect me positive with the algorithm. Whenever I go on Reels, all I see is positive posts, motivational posts, Christian related posts, things that will better me. And if y'all follow me on my main account, y'all see that I post positive content now. I used to post just whatever memes I find funny or this, that, or the other, but now I post primarily positive content that is motivational, inspiring, and with things I believe in.
Manipulating their users and taking so much information from them, and they're showing that through the For You.
Y'all know a fun fact about TikTok? So y'all know that, people in China created TikTok and they own TikTok. You know what's crazy? TikTok is banned in China. How are they going to make an app for us, but then ban it in their own country? That's exactly how you know that it is used to brainwash and it is used to manipulate us. Because what's on our feed? A bunch of sexual content, a bunch of random funny videos. There's not much positive things, there's a lot of negative things on there, and most people are getting introduced to that content, causing them to let that content be a part of their life, and that's just not healthy.
I'm going to read out the prompt. If you agree, step forward. I spend more than 3 hours on social media daily.
Oh yeah, I used to be on social media all the time. You can ask all my friends. I used to be on it just wasting time watching reels. I used to be on it just looking at other people's pages. Now though, I've limited myself to only really being on it on the weekends, and even then I'm rarely on it because of the fact that I have found ways to keep myself busy, keep myself motivated to do stuff like this, to make music, this, that, and the other. But social media can really waste your time.
I definitely find myself scrolling for hours when I'm bored, and I definitely get sucked in and I can't stop.
A lot of my school stuff got pushed to social media, all the clubs and orgs. Another one that's more...
Which there's nothing wrong with that. Just like how I use social media as to promote my business. It's when you start putting negative content out there, whether it be cyberbullying, being inappropriate, or anything in that nature. That's when social media gets bad. But when it's to promote things, positive things, I think social media could be a great source.
And I kind of just go through TikTok, and like that's what brings me joy sometimes.
Yeah, TikTok is easy.
Yeah.
I hate TikTok. Never had it, never will. Hate it. Just hate it. Social media hits you with a lot of instant gratification and hits you with a quick dopamine rush, which is why you see a video you like, you keep scrolling because you want more dopamine. It's not long lasting, it's not going to satisfy you, so you keep scrolling. If you try to remember what you watched about 5, 6, maybe 10 videos earlier, you won't remember because you're here for the dopamine, you're not here for the actual content itself. And because dopamine isn't significant enough, your brain isn't going to try to remember it.
It's really scary to see my friends kind of disconnect with me and just connect with these people.
She's pretty much restating what I state. Goodness. She's pretty much restating what I stated earlier.
Social media makes you antisocial.
I agree. I had to think about that for a second. I think I agree that it makes you antisocial. While yes, you can have the argument that social media brings you out there and it brings more people to like you, and then you can kind of connect with more people. They like the person that you are perceiving on the internet. Like right now, people who have never met me in real life, this is our only interaction. This is the only time we've ever talked where I've ever talked to you. But people who know me in real life, they know I have all these other values, all this other personality, everything. But this is what I'm letting y'all see. In a way, it allows me to be more social, but it doesn't present everything about me. So then when I go to make new friends or this, that, and the other, they see this and they think, oh, this is his personality. But then when I kind of act a little bit different, when I'm a little more goofy, when I'm a little more this, that, or the other, they're like, oh, this isn't who I thought it was. And then take people who don't even use social media to put themselves out there like I'm doing right now. Let's say they're just on social media just to be on social media. They start getting anxiety. Not everybody, but most people start getting anxiety from what they see on social media. They see people who are more attractive to them, who have better bodies, who are just more famous, who make more money. But then when they go on the real world, they think that people are going to expect that from them, when in reality they're not. Think about it like in the gym. When you first start going to the gym, you're over here in your head, you're like, are people looking at me? Are they blah, blah, blah? Like, I'm just trying to work out. Why I don't want people to really look at me and blah, blah, blah. But in reality, two things are happening. One, everybody else is thinking the same exact thing. And that's causing them not to think about you because they're thinking so much about them. Or two, they just don't care about everyone else there. They're here for them, to better them, and they're focusing on them. They don't care about you.
Is that a lot of kids have lost people because of social media.
I've had relationships fall down because we have talked on social media, but when it comes to in-person communication, we don't talk. We aren't as open. We aren't as social. It's almost like a shield being behind the screen. You feel like you can say what's on your mind. But then when you don't have that screen to protect you, when you don't have that barrier, things can get awkward. Things can be a little different, and it's going to be harder to communicate with people. And it's just how it is, and that's one of the drawbacks of social media.
To pick a wall and just sit there and pose and take 100 photos and stand there and wait. Be like, no, take one more.
I definitely like would base like entire friend groups to hang out and just take pictures.
And they won't know my name. They'll go by my screen name. And then I'm just like, am I human?
I've actually had that interaction with someone. I didn't know his name. He made music, and I knew him by his title when he made music. And actually, he's a pretty good artist. His name is Sad VA. I'll put his Spotify and all that down in the description. I remember this one time I went up to my friends who we all hung out with him because he would come into our class every once in a while. I used to be like, hey, what's his name? And you know what the crazy part is? They didn't know it either. And then we asked him one day, and then he told us his name, and then we remembered it by then. But we knew him as the title that he gave himself and not as his actual name.
Because I don't know if you guys know, we're not really strangers. Okay, so it's basically a card game where you have perception, analysis, and then reflection, and then you just have conversation. Like, what would you name the chapter of this in your life? And then boom, we're in a 20-minute conversation.
I agree, but I think the issue is with the algorithm in place. Like, that's not popping up on my feed. And because there's so much hollowness and mindless scrolling, like, I've never found that. If I found that, I would have loved that.
I don't know anything about the algorithm. I just have found 1 or 2 pages that give motivational speeches, and I would just binge their content. Like, I just went on their page and just scrolled through all their reels and stuff. And eventually my normal reels figured that out, and they started putting more inspirational content on there, and I started following more and more people like that. That is a way to manipulate the algorithm.
In order to change your algorithm, you just have to change the things that you're looking for.
But don't you?
That's exactly what I just said.
I have been bullied on social media.
Because I was upset about my pet dying, that I should kill myself, and that
Because people have the protection of the screen. They definitely wouldn't say it unless they just are heartless or are inconsiderate. But they have that protection through the screen and the anonymous factor of social media.
I've just read hundreds of stories about kids who felt like they wanted to kill themselves because of the rude comments they were getting.
If you were to get one negative comment, but then you got 100 positive comments, your brain is going to focus on that negative comment no matter how many positive comments you had. The reason for that is because our brain wants to remember the negative things so we can adapt and grow and learn from it. I mean, back when we were cavemen or whatever, if you remember that all these animals are out to kill you, all these negative things, you can switch that around and learn to protect yourself or hide or do whatever to survive. It is a survival mechanism that is a part of everybody. It is locked in our brain. And social media just allows that to happen on a far greater scale with a far less benefit.
What does that thing think it is? Like, do they think they're cute? I was in like fucking elementary school. Like, I don't know how to deal with myself.
Oh. Don't let kids get social media. Kids are they will bully you in person. The only reason why they don't bully you in person as much as they bully you in social media is because the only time you were able to talk as a kid is during playground or recess. But then you had to be careful of what you said because, you had the teachers there. There's a risk of being tattled on or told on. They literally do not have the part of their brain that allows them to not hold back. Like, that part has not developed yet.
Children under the age of 13 should not be allowed on social media.
I agree with that statement. I mean, you're 13. Let's look at something really quick. Let's look at something. Most people don't reach full maturity until the age of 25. If I'm not even fully mature, why would a 13-year-old and younger kid be allowed to be on social media?
It's kind of funny because I talk to a lot of organizations with Log Off, and the main point that they try to get across is that they're trying to advocate for kids to get cell phones and technology and social media at an older age. But then after years of kind of self-reflection, I wish someone would have said, you don't need Instagram to have a social life.
I would be posting God knows what,
Yeah.
right? Kids are dumb.
Yeah.
And if you give kids a platform to do whatever they want,
It's dangerous.
they're gonna be dumb.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think we're underestimating children. They're relentless. We put an age limit on Instagram or an age limit on an adult type website. They're still gonna get through.
Social media has educated me more than my school has.
I know all schools, they don't talk about some deep topics that social media brings to light, and it teaches you how to get through it and how to do it without talking to your family if you are uncomfortable.
But I've also looked up election and there's been misinformation after misinformation, and with COVID. For y'all that answered, how do you kind of outweigh like the chance to learn a bunch of new things with also the chance of seeing a lot of stuff that isn't necessarily true?
I mean, it's just like when you're doing an essay, you wouldn't believe, I mean, just feel like blogs, any of that kind of stuff. It is easy to get a lot of misinformation, but it's also easy to see that this information is fake.
Society would thrive more without social media.
I think I would thrive more without social media because I compare myself and I look for those likes and look for those comments on my posts. And I feel like if I didn't have that concern, my mental health and my self-love and self-image would be so much better if I didn't see all this stuff on the internet.
My mental health, my self-image, my self-love has increased from me staying off of social media. Disconnecting myself from social media has allowed me to connect myself to myself mentally, physically, spiritually. And it has allowed me to not only better myself, but continue to want to be better. So that will be the end of today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. It was very interesting to see how other people perceive social media. But with that said, I hope you found this video entertaining. If this video comes out when it's scheduled to be, it should be July 4th, so happy Independence Day. And I hope y'all have a great rest of your day.